Appreciate you early birds jumping in. The live stream will actually start in about 90 seconds. Magic of live broadcasting, which is great. So want to get the crowd up there. Appreciate it for week 3 of our daily fantasy show here on Hoops Hysteria for Zilla Sports Network. Oh, God, rock the shirt. Bam! Let me get that camera going right. Bam! So we're on the road today. So all of you guys that are listening, make sure that if you can't hear me, the audio, let me know and I'll figure out some things. But Zilla's taking the show on the road this week. So, all right. Oh, people already in? Love to see it. All right. Okay. You know what? I'm gonna rock it and roll it, and here we go. It. All right. So, welcome, welcome, welcome to the January 20th, 2021 Zilla Sports Network Hoops Hysteria Show. I am your host, Kwafo Adakwa, otherwise known as Spartan Zilla in the DFS streets, rocking the sole proprietor of Zilla Sports Network. Boom! There's the shirt. We have a bunch of logo material. You get at me on Twitter at Spartanzilla. You can get at the site at Zilla Sports Network on Twitter. Also on Instagram at Zilla Sports Network. Our webpage, which is under construction, but it's out there for you, zillasportsnetwork.com. You want to subscribe? There's a way to do that on the website. We have Discord, where most of the people that are really trying to win bucks have come to land, and our Discord this has been great. It's been a great product that started back in September. We are rocking and rolling Discord. We've got winners going over there. Not just me winning, lots of people winning in these DFS streets. So love to see it. We are full swing in NBA, even though there's some NFL games coming up this weekend. We'll be over there. We kind of have the focus on the NBA right now. A little bit of college basketball. There's not that much appetite for it, even though I'm a college basketball fan, so I'll still grind that. The NFL for this slate coming up this weekend, and obviously the showdown slate for the Super Bowl. We'll be grinding that. Once all these other sports get kind of going, when we're kind of just down to one major, we'll go soccer. We like to do that too. So Zilla Sports Network has it covered. A lot of different areas. We'll try to expand things. Baseball season around the corner, so we'll try to get in that. But we'll kind of focus in on the things that we're good at. One of those being the National Basketball Association. So this slate is 10 games. Lots to go over, lots to talk about and see. So basically, I want to get started. As we do on Hoops Hysteria here, we kind of go over you the slate. I take you position by position with a few plays at each position, go over my strategy, how I'm thinking about the slate, give you the one and only Zilla's crew, the kind of key players. A lot of my rosters are being pivoted around those, and then go over some Q&A, and that leads you right up to lock. So if you got your screens open, you got your DraftKings, you got your FanDuel. I don't really do Yahoo, but if people want to do Yahoo, do that as well, and get your screens going. And let's go ahead and try to win some bread on this inauguration day 2021. All right. So if I look at this slate now, from an overview, we had 10 games, and we basically lost a game that I was really focused on. When I'm looking at Portland, Memphis, had my guy X, Xavier Tillman. He was going to be in a lot of my lineups. John Morant. It just had a Dame Lillard without CJ McCollum. Very tasty game, but we don't lament those things that are not there. We'll focus on the 9 games that are there. A lot of goodness still available there. And as you'll see, I have a focus on some of these games in the late part of the slate as well. Just because in practice and in playing and understanding, people just don't play the late games. I talked about it last week. Talked about it probably the first week. People just want that quick fix. They want to see their numbers go up high early on, by like 8 or 9 in the East. Oh, I'm at the top of the leaderboard. I'm fine. You got to do that. whenever there's a chance, when there's a good stackable set of games in the 10 o'clock window and 10 o'clock East, 7 o'clock from West Coast people, shout out to my West Coast people. I know there's a couple of you out there. I want to stack those late games because people just don't. The ownership is not there. I stack those late games. So we'll talk about that a little bit. Let's break it down position by position. Starting with point guard, I'm not really focused on DraftKings today because I think most of the people that I come across are playing DraftKings. There's some differences between the slates or the sites, I should say. But really, for me, I'm looking at DraftKings is kind of where a lot of the play has kind of migrated to. And so we'll focus on that. But I can also answer some FanDuel questions because we're on both sites. At the top of the charts in point guard, Luka Doncic goes without saying. The guy's a walking triple-double, one of the best talents the league has seen in years. Love his matchup today. Even with Porzingis in the mix, I am not so worried about that usage decrease. Indiana will play him tough. It is a road game, but give me a lot of Luka on this slate. Chance, especially on DraftKings, to get those bonus for double doubles and triple doubles. So give me Luka a lot. In this spot, I did have Ja Morant. Ja got to go out because of the contact tracing and whatnot. So into his spot, I'm putting De'Aaron Fox from the Sacramento Kings. Watch a lot of his last matchup. And the guy is just gets buckets. Was doing it all, pretty much the whole focal point of Sacramento's offense, and they play such a high pace because they don't play any damn defense. So, De'Aaron Fox for me, a lot of people probably be on him if they're log watching, but I think it's okay to be on him because he's really just, living out that big contract. Some of these guys get the big dollars, 150, 200 mil. He got the 150, I think 159 was his contract. Definitely worth it. What I saw him, he's bulked up. I think he bulked up before they went into the bubble last year. So he's kept on some of that muscle weight. Love De'Aaron Fox in this matchup in that late game, as I was talking about against the Clip Show. High total, 230 plus. Give me De'Aaron Fox. My guy, the ageless wonder, CP3, coming at you in a bit of a revenge spot, looking at this one, going back to Houston, CP3 in a really good matchup. There's some comments about what they're trying to do offensively. I think change up the starting lineup a little bit. So you'll probably see Cam Johnson in that lineup today. CP3 really with a desire to get DeAndre Ayton involved in the mix as well. So give me CP3 on tonight's slate. And then the one, the only, the guy, the shot maker from all places, the guy, the chef who's cooking it up. Give me Steph Curry on this slate tonight, going up against the Warriors. Steph with a great performance against the Lakers on MLK Day. What more can be said about the two-time MVP? DFS goodness without Clay taking away a little bit of usage. Although Clay wasn't a big usage guy, he's more like getting you 30 points off 10 catches or something like that. But Steph, the way this team is structured, he's got a chance to go out and get you 40. We've seen 62 this year, but he can reasonably get you between 30 and 40 points, get you 6 to 7 assists, the assists that Draymond doesn't get, and maybe 2 or 3 rebounds and a steal or two. I mean, he can fill it up. So give me Steph. Again, those point guards, Luka, De'Aaron Fox, CP3, Steph. Now, point guard here, you'd say, where's the beard? Where's my man James Harden? I gotta wait. He's done so well since moving to Brooklyn with him and KD. But tonight we add in the mercurial one, Kyrie Irving, into the mix. I gotta wait to see how it all shakes out. James always likes to get his, but at his price point on DK, one of the highest price points on the slate, I'm gonna wait and see. Let's see how it all flows. With him and Durant, they had the history going back to OKC. It was fine. It looked beautiful offensively. They took care of the Bucks on MLK Day. Harden is great, but I gotta wait. I gotta wait and see. I'd rather be a little bit late on trying to play Harden in this one as well. Same goes for Kyrie. We need to see what he does. His price is affordable at $9K, but I gotta wait and see how he's gonna deal with being the third fiddle in this triumvirate there in Brooklyn. But if they figure it out, they're gonna be a problem. KD goes down as probably one of the 20 best players ever to play the game. You got Harden, who's maybe in the top 50 of all time, and then Kyrie, who's obviously won championships over in Cleveland. So when they figure it out, it's all good. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna fade a little bit of Harden. Might be the death of me tonight, but I'm gonna fade Harden. Let's move on to shooting guard because we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight. PG-13, excuse me, Mr. Paul George tops the charts. Again, he's in that late game. Maybe you get a little discount of ownership there with Paul George. Really seems to have a little bit more scoring load than even Kawhi on the team. So I like what he can do all around, and he's going to get you more buckets than Kawhi is in this early part of the season. Jaylen Brown, no Jason Tatum, seems like an auto play for me. Auto play with Jaylen Brown as they go up against the 76ers tonight. Victor Oladipo, change the scenery, axe to grind, trying to get paid in Houston, even though Phoenix is trying to slow it down. Depot and Wood, and when Wall comes back and Cousins, that's not a bad team in Houston. And without Mr. John Wall, Depot's got all the usage. He's going to have the ball in his hands. Give me Victor Oladipo tonight. Pretty much lot button him tonight on a lot of my my teams across both sites. And then I'm going with D'Angelo Russell. Shout out to Cat, to Karl Anthony Towns. We hope he gets better off the COVID situation. I mean, he lost his mother earlier this year too. It's just crazy stuff. Just horrible, horrible disease that's plaguing our world. And Cat is a talent. For DFS purposes, I mean, he's obviously a stat getter, and by all indications, a great guy. So we want to shout out Cat. In his absence, D'Angelo Russell from Minnesota seems to be a play you can use on this slate at the shooting guard position. So again, shooting guard, Paul George, Jaylen Brown, Victor Oladipo, D'Angelo Russell. Let's move it over to small forward. Kawhi, the Claw. He can get it done. We talked about what PG-13 does in terms of the little bit scoring load seems to be a little bit more on him this season. Still like Kawhi at that position. Price is affordable. Again, he's part of that late slate onslaught I'm looking for. So give me Kawhi as well. Ben Simmons seems to be in his own. Doc is maybe unleashed some parts of Ben Simmons' games, which is good. You'd love to see him to try to get some outside shots. But again, he's also walking triple-double. So give me Ben Simmons tonight. Another guy, late slate. You're seeing a theme here. DeMar DeRozan from the San Antonio Spurs. Let me see DeMar go to work tonight against the Warriors in a total that's almost at 230 at last check. The guy I've got here that I'm also locking in to a lot of lineups, a sleeper. I slept on him because it's my hometown team, the Pistons. I was like, really? You're going to give this guy $80 million? Like, he's just okay. He's kind of an energy player. I stand corrected. I'm a big enough man to know when I'm wrong. Jeremy Grant from the Detroit Pistons, come on down. You need to be on the squad because he's probably not priced to where his performance has been over the last 2 weeks. I don't see anything stopping him here against Atlanta. Give me all the Jeremy Grant on both sites. Loving the matchup against the Hawks, and loving how the offense is really working for Grant, and a guy that wanted to be in Detroit. And so you're seeing kind of why. Like, he wanted to spread his wings offensively, wasn't going to get that happen in the Denver scheme, and definitely wasn't going to happen back in his days in OKC. So again, at small forward, Kawhi, Ben Simmons, DeMar DeRozan, Jeremy Grant. Love to see it. All right, power forward, Kevin Durant. We talked about it. Goes without saying. Of the three on Brooklyn, KD's the guy I'm prioritizing, then Harden, then Kyrie. KD, maybe the ownership comes down with people thinking about how all that usage and how it's going to play. There's only one basketball, trying to do a lot of different things. Domantas Sabonis from Indy. Again, like the matchup here with Dallas. Fine. They're bigs. Don't scare anybody. Sabonis just gets it done. Double-double machine. I think he is, third in the NBA in terms of double-doubles. So you're going to get those bonus points on DraftKings. Give me Sabonis. Pascal Siakam. The Raptors have disappointed most of the season. So for me, Siakam is probably a low-owned play here on this slate, and like him at power forward. And then Zinger. Kristaps Porzingis, like Luka, like a pairing with Porzingis. very costly, but you can make it work. You guys are smart. You should be able to make that work. And then for me, not so much a sleeper, but just a guy who's coming into his own, Chris Boucher. Also with the Raptors, definitely a play here you can use. Ownership's going to be high on him because of his block shots and the equity there. Block shots probably better on FanDuel than even DraftKings, but Boucher also a play for me at power forward that I'm looking at utilizing where I can tonight. At center, goes up our position by position breakdown. Andre Drummond, he just frustrates me to no end. The guy can get you 20 and 20. He might even do that tonight. He's at the top of the charts at center, but I just the motor on him. He just doesn't have the motor. He has physical talents, but just doesn't have the motor. I mean, you say he gets 20 rebounds. What do you mean doesn't have the motor? Dre Drummond just not maximize his talent on a regular basis. That being said, we're not really here to cast value judgments. What we're trying to do is win some bucks in DFS. So Dre Drummond can get you there. They're playing crazy lineups in Cleveland with all the bigs. I mean, 12 bigs. I mean, just any bigs can get in the court. So give me Dre Drummond. The process, Mr. Joel Embiid going up against Boston tonight. Give me Joel all day long. His upside, on a site like DraftKings, 55 points, 60 points ceiling. So want that. Another guy who's often underowned, and his role in the offense has changed a lot this season. So people may be thinking about him the whole season, but it's Nick Vucevic with Orlando. Love the matchup for him tonight. Love his price point. He's doing it all for the Magic right now between him and Aaron Gordon. So give me Nick Vucevic, and then Christian Wood, the former Piston. Got to watch him a lot over the last season or so. Really again trying to show why he was paid as well as he was. So in terms of lower priced options at center tonight, definitely don't mind James Wiseman. Wiseman is a stud in the making. Next year he's not going to be priced in these streets like this, but this year you're getting him at discount. Take advantage. Even in 20 minutes, he's definitely a fantasy point per minute. And he helps you do a lot of other things with your roster. So James Wiseman, definitely a piece there. And then if you want to get crazy and you want to use the Nets, then let's go with DeAndre Jordan. They don't have many more bigs to play, and if he can stay out of foul trouble, I mean, he's probably upwards of 28. Last game he played 36. I don't think 36 minutes, but 28 minutes, 29 minutes is probably where you're going to go with Andre Drummond. So with DeAndre Jordan. See, getting a little confused. Haven't had my wine yet. So center, Dre Drummond, Joel Embiid, Nick Vucevic, Christian Wood. Let's go. That's the centers. So that is that. Thinking about strategy for the night slate here. As I said, use the late slate, people. Use those pieces from Sacramento. Has a ton of pieces. We talked about De'Aaron Fox, but we didn't talk about Tyrese Halliburton, who's getting his price and production are kind of matched up, so you're not getting much equity there. But Marvin Bagley, who's kind of questionable, so that may get people off. But all he does is get buckets. And then Rashawn Holmes. I mean, you got 4 guys right there that you can use. Run it back with either PG or Kawhi and some of the lower price Clippers people. And that's part of your strategy there. I did have obviously Memphis and Portland was a game I was focused on, but we digress. And then also Golden State, going against San Antonio, pieces you can get: DeRozan, Curry, Draymond Green. Love his price at 54 on both sides. They're not pricing him up because he doesn't score, but he gets all the peripherals. And if he gets like 10 points, man, dude's gonna get you like 40 FanDuel DraftKings points. So Draymond as well, and the person we didn't talk about, but definitely love him on the slate as well. So using the late slate. Also, as I talked about, waiting on Kyrie. Take a deeper look at Steph Curry on tonight's slate. Wait on Kyrie until you can kind of see. I'd give it about 2 games to see what happens in Brooklyn and how that rotation shakes out before you just go rostering. There's equity in Kyrie's price at 9K because maybe he goes off, maybe he just says, I don't care, I'm Kyrie. And he tries to dominate the ball, but I don't see that happening with a couple other alphas there in Harden and Durant. And then the other thing for me, play some smaller field tournaments. The big shiny objects are, 100K up top, 50K up top. Those are fun, right? And the one time in your whole DFS career that maybe you take that down, of course, you'd be like, great. But play some smaller single entry stuff if you can get in it, even at this late hour before lock. And if you can't get in that, maybe play the late slate and play some of those single entries and lower stakes tournaments, and cut down on that field size and give yourself a better chance to win. So definitely a piece for me is going to those smaller field tournaments. And again, just diversify your play. Maybe play some cash games, depending on what style you want to play, and we'll go from there. Let me get into quickly Zilla's crew, and then we'll go into Q&A. I see someone, one of my family members is in the chat. Love it. Love it. We talked about it, but I'm going to get to that in just a second. Let me go over Zilla's crew tonight. It is Jeremy Grant from the Pistons, Victor Oladipo, De'Aaron Fox, Marvin Bagley, and then I'm going to put CP3 in the crew. And then I had – so my Memphis-Portland thing kind of screwed up my thing here. Let me go Nick Vucevic. So Vucevic, Jeremy Grant, Depot, Fox, Bagley. That's my crew. That's my crew for tonight. I love it. And if you don't want Nick Vucevic, put in Rashawn Holmes from Sacramento, and away you go. Now, with that, we're going to go to Q&A for these last 10 minutes. My man, D-Mama, shout out to family right there. I love Jeremy Grant. We talked about it just before he probably got on board. He came to Detroit with the express purpose of being in the city of Detroit, wanted to play for this GM, wanted to play for this coach. He has really exceeded expectations for this guy, for this analyst of basketball. And so I'll love him tonight against Atlanta. And then love him going forward until his price gets to a place where it's just unplayable. For me, unplayable for him's got to be, 9.5 on DraftKings. Don't definitely want to, don't want to play him if he's at. But at this price, I think 8,400. Yeah, Jeremy Grant all day long. Jeremy Grant won me some bucks last week, so I'm all team Jeremy Grant right now. Oh, Kenny, yeah, yes, everybody's family. Everybody, there you go, everybody's family. Any question and answers from the crew out there, man? Love you guys coming in here, bringing fire, giving me energized. On the road, but still getting this sucker energized. Any other questions for the slate? Yeah, let's get this cash. I love it. Love it. Love the chat going on here. If there's no other questions, let me continue to stress the importance of figuring out what kind of player you are, right? If you're doing this just as entertainment, go out, that thing I said about the big up top, then go ahead and play those or whatever. But if you're trying to do this to maybe, make a couple bucks that you can squirrel away for something, or you're trying to do this kind of with more thought behind it other than just, I'm going to play $10 and just have a good night and drink a beer or two, then, then you want to play with a little bit more strategy behind that, meaning find the right tournaments that are lower in field size and see if you can take down, right? It's just math, right? It's very hard to beat, 40, 50,000 entries. I've done it, but it's very hard to do. It's a lot easier to beat 1,000-man, 5,000-man tournaments, or even 100-man tournaments. FanDuel has a ton of those 100-man tournaments. So definitely think about what style you're going to play, how you're going to do this, how your DFS journey is going to go. All right, question. Don't have a question. Depot going to get me all the money tonight? I think Depot might get you some cash. Tonight. He's in the crew. We talked about it. You might have missed that part. Man, Depot with no John Wall, giving him kind of like a just ball handling guard. Depot, and the fact that he's motivated, he got traded, contract year for him. There's not a ton of free agents this offseason. Depot is motivated like a fat kid with some cake to go out and do some things right here. So Depot is probably going to get you some cash tonight. I'm saying it right here. Depot's going to get you some cash. All right. I play 3 lineups. Okay. Yeah. No, Kenny, you and I, You are a loyal member of Zilla Sports Network, and yes, you know your style right now. You play, three lineups. I mean, I'm not an MME guy, so if you're coming for MME strategies, you click off the YouTube channel, go somewhere else. I'm 3 to 5 lineups tonight. That's it. I'm not gonna MME. Don't have the time. I have full time job, family, wife, kids. I'm not gonna do 150 lineups. That's crazy. I just can't do it. It's just not my style. It's just not the way I go. So, um, oh, Levert, another question. Yeah, man, that's a great thing. He probably will be discounted a little bit for a situation there in Indiana. I mean, shout out and prayers up for him as well. I mean, thankfully he got traded. And like he said in the interview, probably saved his life. Getting traded, and they found that mass on his, I think it was kidney or liver, one of the two. Neither good places to find the mass, but they're going to remove it and take care of it. So yeah, he will be discounted for a while. And yeah, Levert is a guy that has got uber talent. We saw it, in Brooklyn, especially last year when they didn't have all their big stars back. Yeah, Levert is going to get it done. And so, yeah, you can get him at a discount. Probably that, it sounds like he still will come back this year. So probably I would say those first couple of games, that's not a situation where I'm waiting on because of the way Indiana's structured. I'm going to go right in with Levert when he gets back in the fold. Yep, Kenny, no MME. Yep, I totally hear that. It's just not been something I think I've tried it once or twice, and it just wasn't for me. Even with optimizers and all that stuff, nah, man. Just give me a couple lineups. Just be convictions. Get my Zilla's crew. Get that crew together, and then we just rock. We just rock with it, and hey, I'm telling you, you can take it down. You don't have to MME. You can take down these tournaments without MME. I'm telling you that right now. I know it. I've done it. I'm saying it. So, any other questions? Any other questions? Um, is there a certain way you build your lineup? Um, around the high total games, that's definitely what I try to do is kind of look at the totals more so than positions and stuff like that. Looking at on both sides, what are the game environments I want and what are the pieces I want, and then obviously structuring that against what is out there. So, for instance, looking at my rosters for tonight, I wanted to prioritize guys like those late game guys. So Sacramento want to get pieces of that. Maybe running it back with some Clippers, so building those into a factor, irrespective of position. I just know I need to get pieces of that. Then honing in on those pieces and then going from there. I don't, think about position in that terms. I break it down for you position by position, but when I'm building out, it's like, what's the best game environment? How to get some correlation in that lineup from that game environment, and then building around, those 2 or 3 game environments, and then going around there. Because obviously, you can't play everybody. You can't play everybody. So, give me some sub 3,500 last minute tourney flyers. Well, for you, Rock, he's not sub 35. He's 37 on DK. Mason Jones from the Rockets. Got him in a couple lineups. Let's see how else I can help you. He's not sub 35, but a guy I like tonight, and you might be able to get him in 3 minutes. Isaac Okoro with Cleveland. Another guy you could really think about rostering on this very fun slate. Let me get you, Rock, one more because you're my peep. All you guys are my peeps. Let me get Rock one more here real quick. Cam Johnson is 39. Don't mind him. Grant Williams getting a start at 36. You could get Grant Williams from Boston getting a start. And then let's go with Damian Lee, who meets your criteria. It meets my criteria too. In the late game, 3,400 on DK. Come on, Rock. There you go. I gave you a couple right there. I'm feeling like Devin Booker might go off tonight. I kind of was thinking that as well, but I feel like where the Suns are at, it's a CP3 and Ayton night more than Booker. Booker has been slowed down by the way the Suns want to play right now, right? They want to play at a slower pace because CP3 is at the trigger. So he's a tendency to get him in half court, do some pick and roll action. So it's not that frantic run and gun, which was kind of good for Booker's stats, but not good for the Suns winning. And I think they figured out some stuff going in the bubble, and then they also figured out stuff now getting CP3 in. And he said, "This is the way we win, guys. We have an advantage if we play in this half court style. Push when we can, but their pace numbers are way down. So I can't go to Booker. His price is really at a really attractive price tonight, but I just can't go Booker. I want to though, but I feel like I said, it's a CP3 8 night tonight. Any other questions? So I'm just making sure, gotta make sure I'm locked and loaded, right? For what should be a fun slate, even though we got some game, we got the game canceled that I was really honing in on. But keep that in mind as we move forward. Dame Lillard on any slate he's on right now for the next couple of weeks, you got to lock him in. I don't care who he's playing, lock him in because usage is going to go boop, 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 boop. Lock in Dame Lillard. Also, Rodney Hood, price hasn't caught up for his new role yet. Maybe it does for these next slate because now they're not in the slate. But Rodney Hood, boop, boop, boop. That usage is going up. And guy from Memphis until Jonas Valanciunas comes back. My guy, my Spartan dog, Xavier Tillman. You want to roster him because his price is not caught up. So that's why we want to look for these pricing inefficiencies as well and try to take advantage of that. So yes, Dame is a bucket getter. Dame is a bucket getter. So, all right. Any other questions? Going once. Going twice. All right, guys. That's 3. So, yes, any questions you have, you know how to find me in these Twitter streets. That is at Zilla Sports Network on Twitter. That is ZillaSportsNetwork.com. That is Zilla Sports Net on Instagram. And then here you find me on YouTube. So subscribe, like, all that good stuff. Subscriptions are available to be a part of the Discord where all the real fun stuff happens. All the, you really want to get inside this brain, which is a crazy place to be in. Discord, that's where you want to be at. Subscription models, $9.99 a month, $99.99 for the year if you want it. And hey, we're here to provide a service to you guys. I hope you guys have fun on this DFS slate tonight. Get at me, like, review, all that good stuff. And we will talk to you guys soon. Take it easy and be easy.